Hang on 1 second, guys. How you guys doing? It's been a while. Um, Trying to get some better lighting going here. I had 4 people for like 2 seconds there, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know. Oh man. Thought I had a picture. Can I not do this? Let's see here. For the video. And I look pretty washed out. Hmm. I thought about doing the green screen again, but it's kind of a pain. I don't know. I know it was cool, but I don't know, I can do it. But it's StreamYard's just so much easier, and I can look at the comments a lot easier through this. Man, 4 people there. Hello, people are coming back. Good, good. I can do the green screen. Let me know, guys. You want me to do the green screen again? I can do the green screen. I don't know. It was a lot of work for not much. Like, at least with this, you can see my books. Like, I don't know. It's cool, but I don't know. I think the book. I'm gonna get a better setup at some point. I need to probably put my books behind me. I need to get another bookshelf because this is completely full. This is completely packed. I don't have any room to add anything. So how was your guys' holidays? I haven't been on here, I think, since it was before, or no, I did one right after Thanksgiving. That's right. The green screen was right after Thanksgiving, but I haven't done anything since then. So it's been a while. Did you guys get any Star Wars books or Star Wars stuff for Christmas? Anybody? I think the comments. Yeah, I can highlight comments now, so we won't have the problem we had the last time where you couldn't see anything. I wonder if the green screen is like throwing off the lighting because my face is kind of weird. Like my face has a weird coloring to it. I don't know. Might be the green. Because I still got the green screen up. It's back here. I don't know. It might. I know this wasn't planned or anything, but I don't know. Hadn't done this in a while, so I thought maybe you guys would want to chat a little bit. Might have been wrong. I don't know. I'll wait. Let it fill up a little bit. Hang on. There's nobody in there. They made me buy the whole meal. Out of that other one, dude. I mean, I don't mind them, but I think it's some church. Just tired of the ones. I'm just fucking tired of them. I mean, well, I'm just these in general. Teenage boys being weird. It's weird. I guess I better mute that. It's the goof. Well, it's making the back and all slow out. It's just nuts. Hey, SJ Photo, yeah. I tried to let it fill up and nobody was talking, man. What do you want to talk about, SJ Photo? How was your Christmas? SJH. SJH Photo? I don't know how you say your name there. I just wanted to wait, just let it fill up a little bit. How was your holidays? And nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to talk. I guess I should have labeled this as like a Q&A or something. Like, I don't know. I did that once before and it didn't really. You're Jehovah's Witness. You don't celebrate the holidays. You guys don't celebrate holidays? I did not know that. Okay, I learned something new today. You guys don't do any of it? You don't do Thanksgiving or anything? Like Thanksgiving's not a religious holiday. Do you do? I mean, I'm just curious. I don't. Doesn't matter to me either way. I'm curious. But we don't have to talk about that. I don't care. Excuse me. I have a question. Do you like the '90s Bantam books better than the newer post NJO stuff? Yes. I prefer Bantam. I like the NJO. So you're kind of if you're saying post NJO, oh definitely, yeah. I definitely like Bantam way better. But I like the NJO. I like Bantam, probably not probably and that's tough. I like the NJO a lot, but I like Bantam probably the best, then NJO, and then it just to me it trails off after that. But yes, short answer is yes. I agree with you. I prefer the Bantam books. No, the only holiday we celebrate is the memorial of Christ's death. Okay. Thanksgiving isn't religious though. I'm surprised you don't. Huh. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but I'm just interesting. Okay. I did not know that. I learned something new today. Did not know that. I like Bantam best. They're more fun. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I like the Bantam. Oh, overall, yeah. I mean, I like the NJO for Del Rey. I mean, it's the NJO for me, and then there's a couple prequel books I like. I mean, they're both good. I mean, they're both. It's like chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Like they're both great. I just like one a little better. I'm a vanilla guy, so I like vanilla better than chocolate. But they're both great. All the old EU stuff was great. And I have the nostalgia. I got involved with the books in '92 whenever the Empire came out in paperback. Oh wow! So you were there at their beginning, man. Wow, that's awesome. See, I didn't. Ooh, again, I think I've said this before. Here, let me just straighten this out a little bit so I'm got a little bit better. I think I've said this before, but I really didn't get into Star Wars until the prequels. The prequels were kind of my jumping on point for Star Wars. So again, don't. I think I've said this before, but yeah, I know that's kind of like almost sacrilegious now, but um, that was my jumping on point because I'm a millennial. Yeah, I'm assuming you're older than me, clearly, because I was two. I couldn't have read Heir to the Empire. I mean, I guess I could have technically, but um, that was my jumping on point. So, um, and then I got into the EU at the time, and technically my first EU book was a prequel novel. It was the Jedi Apprentice novels. That was my first EU, I think, technically, I think. So that's awesome. That's cool you're there at the beginning. I always liked I talked there was a guy that worked at a bookstore that I used to go to that was like you. Um he read it from the beginning. Like he read it Heir to the Empire. He just read the whole thing like from then on. So that's awesome. I wish I would have been around for it. I really wish. I mean, I technically was around, but I was like a toddler, I was a little kid. So, but anyway, I was, 9 years, 8 years off before I got into it, 7 years, whatever. We don't celebrate holidays, elevate nations over another, so we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Okay, okay, I can see the logic. All right, I can see that. I see what you're saying. Um, I think I'm older than, yeah, clearly. I figured since you said Heir of the Empire, you read that when it came out. Yeah, you're 48. Okay, so you're my brother-in-law's age. My Yeah, my one brother-in-law. So you would have been around for Star Wars when it was in theater, or the original trilogy when it was in theaters. Oh, that's my vent. I closed my vent. It's making a weird sound. Sorry. I like the prequels a lot. Wow. That is you would be Gen X. So that's an interesting opinion for Gen Xer, because most Gen Xers do not like the prequels. My brother-in-law does, but most Gen X, you guys are the odd men out. Because I do remember, like, and I was a kid for this, and it's kind of been archived on the internet and stuff. But there was a lot of backlash for the prequels. Like, at least the Phantom Menace. Like, there was like I remember a lot of Gen Xers were upset. Like, they were pretty pissed. So you're in the minority there, which I'm glad. I'm glad you're in the minority, because that's how I am. I love the prequels. Do I prefer the original trilogy? Of course, the original trilogy is the best, but I do like the prequels. Yeah, you're Gen X. Yeah, you're like my brother-in-law. He's Gen X. My friends and I used to listen to Anthony held audiobooks on road trips. Awesome. I'm just, and I've said this before, and guys, don't get mad. I love making these audiobooks for you guys. I don't listen to them. I'm not an audiobook person at all. I have to read it. I have to see it in front. I have to have it. I have to have it in front of me. Whoops, that's a piece of chicken. I have to have it in front of me. I just it just the words just wash over me, and I can't get immersed in the story when I'm just listening to an audiobook. But I'm glad people have lost some people for that. But I'm glad you guys enjoy them. But anyway, I don't know what's going on with the view counter thing. You can't trust it. I saw Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi in the movies, in the theater, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's awesome. So you didn't, oh man, you almost saw all of them. You almost saw the whole trilogy. That'd have been awesome. I wanted to see, um, I'm still kind of mad because weren't they going to, I know they put the prequels back in theaters, and they were gonna play, see, because I missed the special editions. I missed that. I know they put the special editions, they put those in theaters of the original trilogy. I missed that. I was just a little too young for that, because that was like 97, right? 98. I just missed that. I hadn't quite gotten into Star Wars yet, so I just missed that. But I know they were going to re put them back in theaters again, because they did the didn't they did episode 1 3D, and then I think they quit. Like, they were going to do the whole, I know originally they were going to do all 6 movies in 3D and re-release them, but that fell through. So I wish that would have happened. I was a little young for Star Wars. I was 2. Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess you would have been a little too young. So yeah, that makes sense. I found Jar Jar a little annoying, but I like the Phantom Menace. I left the theater happy. Yeah, I mean, like, even as a kid, I knew, even as a kid, Jar Jar kind of annoyed me, but like, it wasn't like a deal breaker. Like what? He has what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He's featured heavily kind of in the beginning, and then like after they get to Tatooine, I mean, he's not. He kind of takes a back seat. I mean, like, everybody. I rewatched them. I haven't rewatched them in a while, but I rewatched the prequels, before the Disney movies came out, and I wasn't as annoyed by Jar Jar. Like, yeah, I was kind of like, he's a little annoying, but he's not that bad. Like, he's really not that annoying. Like, I don't know. I think it was overblown. I think that hate was kind of overblown. I'm a youth sports photographer. I do a lot of driving and photo editing, so I listen to audios. I don't have much time to read. Yeah, I get that. No, no, I totally understand. Like, I get it. I get why people listen to audiobooks. Totally. That's obviously why I'm doing this, because a lot of people like them. I just can't. It doesn't. I can't. I've tried. Like, I've tried, and it just washes over me. I just can't get immersed in the story. I mean, I'll listen to it. It's nice. Like, it's nice to hear the words, but I can't. I just can't get immersed in it. I can't get immersed. I saw the special editions in '97. Yeah, I would yeah, I know. I just missed that. I just missed it. I really wish I would have been able to see those. I just missed those. I just hadn't gotten into quite into Star Wars yet. I also saw the 4th anniversary Return of the Jedi this March. Awesome. Yeah, oh yeah, I know they did that. I need to yeah. Did they do it for the other ones? I didn't know if they did for the other ones. About Jar Jar, the really bad thing is people hated the actor. He and Jake Lloyd got so much flack. Yeah. No, I know. I read a thing like an article like the guy that played Jar Jar, he almost killed himself. Like that. Like seriously, he almost committed suicide, which is that's incredibly sad. I can't. That's nuts. Like I can't believe that. I mean, I can believe it because people are that jerky, but that's nuts, man. That he almost killed himself. And then Jake Lloyd, yeah, Jake Lloyd, like, got bullied, like, didn't he get bullied really bad? He got yeah, it's ridiculous, I agree totally. Um, yeah, he went to therapy and stuff, yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous, like, even if the movie was horrible, which it's not, that's ridiculous. So, I don't know, that was just, but the both Jake Lloyd and, the guy that played Jar Jar, I can't remember his name right now, um, I can't believe that, like, that I mean, I can, but it's really depressing to me that people are that vindictive. For instance, I hate the new Disney stuff, but the way people picked on Rose, I forget the actress's name is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Like I don't I'm the same way. I hate the Disney stuff, but I would never wish, wish any harm upon the actors at all. And actually, honestly, I like a lot of the actors. Like I like Adam Driver. I think he's a good actor. Like I saw him in he was in a movie, I think just this year, I think. I think it was this year called 65. And he's a good actor. Like the movie's kind of so-so, but but he's a good actor. Like, and I've seen him in some other things too. He's a good actor. And I don't I hate the Disney movies. I shouldn't say hate. Strongly dislike the Disney movies and I strongly dislike um, you know, his kind of knockoff Jason Solo, but I don't have no malice against Adam Driver at all, or really any of the actors. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Like that's ridiculous. And I mean, Rose wasn't even that. I mean, yeah, she wasn't a great character. I mean, she wasn't horrible or anything. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, what? Why do that? They're just an actor playing a part. It's just a job. I don't know. Ahmed Best Jar Jar. Yeah, was that his name? Ahmed. I don't know. It was a he was a tall he was an African American guy, and I can't remember his name, but I remember reading that like he almost killed himself. Like he really strongly considered suicide, which is that's incredibly depressing. I can't. That's nuts to me. I don't watch R-rated movies, so I don't know Adam Driver. Okay, but yeah, he's whatever Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, whatever. But the only actor I've seen from the sequels is something else is Ray. She was in Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen her. Daisy Ridley, right? I haven't seen Daisy Ridley in anything, but I don't have anything against her. I have no problem. I have no problem with her at all. I'm not. It's just I don't know. I don't know why people are like that. I mean, I do. I know why, but they're just actors. I mean, people, calm down. They're just actors. Even if you hated the movie or like hated the way they portrayed the character or whatever, whatever it is, they're just actors. They're just doing a job. Just calm down. Sorry. It's just man. Yeah, Ahmed. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, like Jar Jar. He's just a guy. He's a guy. He has a family or whatever. Just, jeez, calm down, people. My problem is with the plots in the movies, and even then, I don't hate the writers. I just won't watch the movies. Yeah, that's how I am. Like, it's more the plots. It's not really like it's the characters too. But again, see, people are just stupid like that. They think like the actor is the character. They're not. It's just a person playing a character. They're not that person. Like Adam Driver is not Han Solo's son. He's just a guy playing a character that's Han Solo's son. That's it. Yeah, and same thing. I don't really hate the writers either, I guess, either. I mean, really, if you're gonna get mad at somebody, like, get mad at the people that put this stuff together, like the producers and, like, the directors and stuff that just didn't say, "Hey, maybe we should stop and, put some more thought into this." That's who you should get mad at more than that. And again, you still shouldn't, like, wish harm upon them or anything, but if you're gonna get frustrated with somebody, if you're gonna get mad at somebody, get mad at the directors and the producers, like, the people that are, that are okaying all this. Yeah, I agree. People are toxic, yes. I agree, but I mean, again, they can be non-toxic too, but, that's the problem with, like, hardcore fandoms, like, any fandom. That's just the thing that happens in fandoms. People get nutty. People get, I don't know what you wanna call it, like, they get possessive, like, they get very possessive of characters. They get like and that's funny though because it's like, I'm a huge Luke Skywalker fan, and, yeah, I hated how they treated his character in, in the new trilogy, in The Last Jedi or whatever, but I'm not gonna, like, go to, like, Rain Johnson's I'm not gonna send death threats to Rain Johnson or, like, or whatever. I'm not or Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? Yeah. I don't yeah, I agree with you. It's a sign of decay, I agree. But that's always been around, though. You have to understand that that's always been around. That's always been a thing. It's getting worse, I'll agree with you, but it's always been around. What's frustrate me is they aren't making more Legends books. They could still make them as an alternate history. Yeah, that's what most EU people are saying. Most Legends/EU people are saying, like, "Just continue it. Just continue it." Now, preferably, I hope they get the old writers back. I want the original writers doing it, like, at least the ones that are still alive. I don't really want modern, like, modern sci-fi writers writing it, but, I mean, there's some good ones out there. You gotta be choosy. But yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. Like if Disney came out and said we're going to continue it, and we're going to have hire specific writers to do it, and we're just going to continue it, fine. I'm all game. Like I'm all for it. I'll give them a chance. But then there's a part of me, and I've talked about this on here before. There's a part of me that kind of wants it to just be closed off. I'm conflicted. I kind of go back and forth because there's been times where I think about it. And I'm like, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing they just they close the book on it and they close it off. Maybe it's a good thing. Because then they can't tamper with it anymore. It's a closed book. It's just done. It's, it's done. It can't be corrupted. So, I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I haven't fully decided. Zack Attack. Yo, what's up, nerds? Hey, man. Yeah. I know. I haven't been on in a while. Good to hear from you, Zach. Hey, if this interests you, I do book reviews on YouTube. Summer science fiction. You might like it. I've probably seen your channel. I'm always looking at book stuff on YouTube, booktubers. I guess I'm technically a booktuber in a way. I'm an audio booktuber technically, but that's cool. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, I'm always up for some fantasy, sci-fi and fantasy. On the Star Wars front, have you watched the Heir to the Empire movie made by Darth Angelus? He does a chapter every other month or so. I've seen it. Yes, I've watched the first like couple chunks of it. I'm gonna wait till the whole thing's out. Because I'd rather just binge the whole thing in one go. But yes, I'm aware of it. Yes. So, but I think I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the whole thing's out and then binge it, whatever. Well, my favorite writers from Star Wars is Aaron Alston. Sadly, he's dead. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, Alston was great. I prefer Stackpole, but Alston is great too. They're both great. Um, Not to get morbid, but well, most of the EU people I like are still alive. Most of them. There's a couple that are dead. I wish Greg Bear could have written another Star Wars novel. I think he only got that one prequel novel. He only did that one prequel novel, which I think is very underrated. Rogue Planet. I think he could have written some more good Star Wars stuff. But yeah, rest in peace, Aaron Alston. I didn't like Troy Denning's Violent Ways with his books. Yeah, Troy Denning's like hit or miss for me. Um, I don't know. I love Star by Star. I love Star by Star. And I like a couple of his Legacy of the Force books, but he's hit or miss for me. I'm one of those weird people because I know he's kind of love or hate. Like people either love him, like love his stuff, or absolutely hate it. I'm a weird like middle road. He's hit or miss for me. I like some of his stuff and I dislike some of his stuff. And some like Christy Golden was very opinionated, didn't work well with others. Yeah, I've sort of heard that. Um, she's okay. I don't have anything against her really too much. She's kind of so-so. I never thought she was really great, but she wasn't really bad either. Oh, you're talking about Karen Travis. Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, Karen Travis is another one for me. Karen and Travis is another one who's like, um, she's very hit or miss for me. Like I like the Public Commando books, like the first couple Public Commando books are great. Like especially that first one. That first one is incredible. Like really tightly written. It's great. Like it's great. And then it just slowly each book it gets bogged down by like drama and like it just each one it gets a little worse. And then they just trail off to me. And then same thing with Legacy of the Force. I think she's hit or miss. Like Legacy of the Force, some of her stuff was okay. Some of it I was not wild about. I'm another one of those weird ones with her where I'm like, because most people are like either hate Karen or Karen Travis or love her. I'm kind of she's hit or miss for me. So, but yeah, I'd heard that about her. Yeah, that she's not easy to work with. Rogue Planet was okay, kind of a slog for me. Had good concepts, but I fell asleep at points. It's a slow book. It's like Greg Bear is like very I'm trying to think how to explain it. Um, he's very sciencey. He's big on like he kind of really breaks down the science, and I understand like a lot of people don't like that. Um, I like it. Doesn't bother me. I like that. He's mainly known for like hard SF. He writes a lot of hard SF. But yeah, if Rogue Planet made you fall asleep, definitely you're probably not gonna like his other books because that's probably one of his faster paced books, honestly. This is kind of random, but can you do any good impressions? Ooh, I used to be good at impressions, but like the older I'm getting, my voice is getting deeper and it's getting harder. Um, I want to do Palpatine, but I kind of I'll have to do like I'm gonna do like a goofy face probably when I do it. I'm trying to think. Um, yeah, I used to be able. I can do Palpatine pretty good. Like here, I'm gonna just turn away because I don't want you seeing my stupid looking face when I do it. But hang on, I'll go over here for a second. Hang on, it might take me a minute. Do it. Yes, you want. Do it now. There you go. There's my Palpatine. I know it was a little off, but the line was a little off, but that's one of my better Star Wars impressions. I used to be able to do Chewbacca. Can't do that anymore. My voice, my throat's too screwed up for that. I actually did like Christy Golden. I couldn't stand Karen Travis. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I get it. I totally get it. Like Karen is she's very divisive. I don't know. I'm a weirdo where I kind of she's hit or miss. She's just I don't know. She's one of those. She's just really hit or miss, in my opinion. Like her good books are fantastic, and then her bad books are just awful. So that's just my opinion, though. And she I didn't mind her. She wrote a couple good Halo books too, like Glasslands, that was great, and then it's like every other book after that was just garbage, but Glasslands was good. Glasslands was a good Halo book, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what Karen's deal is, where she's just like she can write good books when she wants to, but anyway, she said she hated the Jedi and worshipped the clones and Mandalorians. Yeah, kinda, but I see. I kind of like that stuff though. Like not necessarily her. She could have been written better for sure, but I didn't necessarily mind like focusing on the Mandalorians and the clones and stuff. I kind of like that stuff personally. Legacy of the Force. She insists on shoehorning Boba Fett and Denning and Alston. We're not on board with that. Yeah, yeah. No, and again, I was okay with it at first. Like again, Karen's problem is like I think she has good ideas, but she can't follow through on it. Like I having Boba there and like talk and having some chunks of Mandalore, I'm fine with that. That's kind of cool. But like just finding out what the Mandalorians were doing during the Yuzong Vong War and during Legacy of the Force and stuff, cool. But she can't help herself. Like she just goes on these weird tangents. And Troy Denning kind of does it too. But like she just goes on these weird tangents. Like I don't need to know. Like yeah, I don't need to know about Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett's like you know mommy daddy issues and like daughter issues and stuff like it's just getting silly like it's too it's just I don't know it gets stupid yeah I'll agree with you like it gets a little dumb. A one shot author that I liked, Ari Salvatore. He's technically not one shot. He wrote the not to correct you but he wrote the novelization of Attack of the Clones, so he's technically a two shot guy. Oh, Alex. Oh man, you just you got me to segue into something. If you like R.A. Salvatore, you need to read the he's known for the Dritz novels. He wrote a series of novels about a dark elf named Dritz, and I just finished reading the second trilogy. So if you like his writing style, definitely read you can read the Icewind Dale trilogy or you can read the Dark Elf trilogy. But just Google Drifts. It's hard to spell. It's Drizzzt. Um, but SJ Photo. If you like that, if you like R.A. Salvatore's writing style, definitely give those a shot because they're very good books. Yeah, good Palpatine impression. Yeah, I can do pretty good Palpatine. I can do good Palpatine. Nice, that was a pretty good Palpatine. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah. That's my like I don't know. I used to be able to do way more, but I think my voice is getting too deep or something. The older I'm getting, that's the one I can still do like pretty much perfectly. Oh, speaking of Palpatine, I really like the book version of Episode 3. The rest of Palpatine made a lot more sense with the first two Jedi being fooled into letting their guard down and dying. Yeah, I need to reread that. I don't remember. No, I remember it being great, but I don't remember all the details from it. I need to reread that at some point. I'm gonna reread. I think all the prequel novels here at some point. Elves and stuff like that don't interest me, sorry, but it's not really about elves, though. It's not like a typical fantasy novel, because I'm not I used to not be huge into fantasy either, and I still consider myself more of a sci-fi guy, too. Just give it a shot. Like, I know it's not typical elves. It's actually kinda similar it's kinda like Star Wars in a way. It's kinda political and, like, it's the different like groups like fighting each other and stuff. You it's not really like typical fantasy stuff. It's much more action oriented. It's much more like you'd probably like it, but give it a shot if you can. But again, if not, it's up to you. I'm not trying to force you to do something you don't like. Star Wars, Darth Plagueis. I'm assuming you mean Darth Plagueis. And Revenge of the Sith novel. I haven't read them, but I watch clips of audiobooks on YouTube and very good. Oh yeah, Darth Plagueis is fantastic. Darth Plagueis is fantastic. You really need to read that. That one I remember very well. I read that one more recently, but god, that book's amazing. That's probably my favorite standalone, like, if you're just talking standalone Star Wars books. That's probably my favorite standalone Star Wars book, honestly. I need to reread it. I haven't read it in a while, but Darth Plagueis was an excellent book. I love the audiobook reader too. It is the guy who played Mortier in TNG. Okay. Yeah, Moriarty. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, it's excellent. I agree. It's the best. I would say it's the best standalone Star Wars book. Like you don't have to read any other Star Wars novels. I wish we got more of that. I wish we like Del Rey had done more standalone stuff. They did some, but Palpatine said he wasn't a Sith and asked Ceci Tin to read his mind. He also had his lightsaber hidden in a statue behind them, so he ignited it, called the tomb, and beheaded the two. Yeah, yeah, I know. The novelization like fixes so many things. Like it fixes so many problems with the movies. Even all the novelizations do really. Like the prequel. Most people say the prequel novelizations are like way better than the movies, and I'm inclined to agree. Like I said, it's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been like 20 years since I've read them, but I'm inclined to agree with that. So they didn't just stand there and die. Yeah, I'm surprised that Plagueis was still alive during episode one. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's part of Darth Plagueis takes place during episode one. James Luceno is another great standalone writer. Yeah, he's great. He's probably like I said, he's in the pantheon of like best Star Wars writers. Like if you're gonna talk like top three, he's definitely up there. He's definitely like one or two. He has to be. Honestly, I think he's better than Zahn personally. And I know that's like sacrilegious, but I don't know. I think he's a better writer than Timothy Zahn in my eyes. Sorry, Timothy Zahn people. I know there's only two people in here, but I prefer him to Zahn, even though Zahn's great too. Zahn wrote some great books too. I mean, he wrote Thrawn trilogy, so I mean, yeah, right there. But I just like Lucino better personally out of those two. He's probably one of the few that I knew before Star Wars books. He wrote the Robotech novels. Yeah, yeah, he wrote a bunch of stuff. He wrote Robotech novels. He wrote like his own sci-fi stuff. He's written tons of stuff. He's a good author. I didn't like Attack of the Clones novelization. Okay. Hmm. I know it's I think considered the weakest, like out of the trilogy, out of the like most people, Revenge of the Sith, like hands down is the best, and then I think Phantom, and then Attack of the Clones. If you're talking the novelization, at least. Zahn has nostalgia for me. He was the only writer to publish Star Wars stuff whilst I was in high school. Well, yeah, I mean he's the foundational guy there. I mean, he laid the foundation for the EU basically. He didn't technically create it, but he pretty much like set the gold standard for the EU. So totally no, I mean Thrawn trilogy is fantastic. I mean, I think he's another one of those writers. I think he just like he kind of peaked early for me. Like I thought Thrawn trilogy is like amazing, fantastic, and then Hand of Thrawn like it's still great, it's still really good, not quite as good, and then after that he just trails off for me. I think he gets kind of slowly worse and worse. Which again, like bad Zahn is still probably better than most writers, but that's my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree or disagree or whatever. You can agree or disagree. I used to write sci-fi novellas and novels in my own universe. Want to hear about it? This was in the 80s, 90s. Yeah, sure. Go for it. I've written some stuff. I'm writing actually a horror, a sci-fi horror novel right now, actually. I'm like only like a fourth of the way done with it. It's something I've been working on for a long time. But I've written like short stories and things. I never got anything published or anything, but I agree about him trailing off, but I did like the outbound flight. Yeah. I mean, that's the general consensus. Like, I think is the general consensus. Like, is he just kind of peaked early and then he just kind of trailed off. In my stories, all insects are intelligent. Huh, that sounds interesting. That could be very interesting. Hang on, my phone went off. I better check it. Hang on one second. Okay, so interesting concept. Because they don't share the planet with bigger life forms, insects in our outer space develop spaceflight. Huh, interesting. They discover Earth. They think humans are savages. Heh. They initially were going to wipe out humanity despite being tiny, they could do it. But instead they started to study us. Huh. That sounds pretty good. That's pretty good concept. That's a pretty good concept. I like that. That kind of sounds like it almost kind of sounds like War of the Worlds mixed with like there was a story, what, the Sand Kings? I think there was a story that was kind of sort of similar to that, sort of, but different. Star Wars Jedi Academy trilogy feels. I'm assuming you mean underrated. I totally agree with you there. I think Jedi Academy trilogy is very overhated. It's Luke building the Jedi Academy. Like it's Luke again. It's another foundational. To me, like when I recommend EU stuff, like I don't. People always say just read the Thrawn trilogy. Like just read the Thrawn trilogy, and then X Wing, and they always kind of glaze over the Jedi Academy trilogy, and I totally think that's wrong. Like you need to read it. It's foundational. Like it's Luke setting up his academy. Like you need to read that. To me, like you need to read the Thrawn trilogy, and then you read the Jedi Academy trilogy. Those are like they go like peanut butter and jelly. Like you gotta read one after the other. And again, you don't have to read it, but I strongly recommend it because you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, Luke has Jedi Academy, like, and again, they kind of they catch you up. Like each Star Wars novel is kind of written. I'm pretty sure they told the writer like you need to catch people up on things, but you'll enjoy it so much more. Trust me. So yeah, I agree with you, Daniel. Jedi Academy trilogy is very underrated. If that's what you meant, I'm assuming that's what you meant. So they built what are called shells, which look like humans, but are devices which they inhabit to live among us. For instance, imagine you were a shell, so you are really a device piloted by insects. Sounds like Men in Black kind of. They had the tech to give a social security number and put you in society, find a job, and live among humans. That sounds like Men in Black, sort of, a little bit. Roger McBride, Allen's Corellian trilogy really resonated with me. Yeah, it's great. Han Solo trilogy, yeah, it's good too. I mean, really, I mean, pretty much all the Bantam. I argue, and I've said this on here before. I'd argue most of the EU is great. Like I would argue that like 80 to 90% of it is good to good to great. So that's my argument. It's most of it is good. Is there bad? Yeah, of course. It's not all winners. They're not all winners, but I would argue like close to 90% of it is good to great. And then obviously you have like that chunk of like amazing, fantastic. But like even the bad stuff, I still feel like even like the bad EU, it's still readable. Like I mean, maybe there's like one or two books like that are pretty bad, but 90% of even the bad stuff is still readable. I don't know. That's my argument. I wrote this for Men in Black. Okay, yeah. I figured you did, but I wasn't saying like you took it from Men in Black. It just sounds like Men in Black to me. Also, they befriended local insects in isolated areas. For instance, big ant colonies in the Amazon. They're slowly giving it social insects like ants And termites technology so they won't be killed. Okay. Killed by pesticides and predators. Huh. That sounds pretty interesting, actually. That's pretty interesting. Look up the Sand Kings if you haven't heard of it. I think it was a short like a novella or something written by George R. R. Martin. It kind of sounds vaguely similar to that. Which again, you probably beat him to the punch on that too, because I think he wrote that in the '90s. So yeah, the Sand Kings. I think it's called the Sand Kings. I think maybe that's not the title. It was they made it into an Hour Limits episode. It was made into an Hour Limits episode. I think that might have been the Hour Limits episode. It was called the Sand Kings. But they're intelligent. They're like intelligent little insects from Mars, I think, or something. It's obviously it's different. It's pretty different, but it kind of reminded me of that for some reason. Yeah, the Hour Limits. Yeah, it's the '90s one, which is underrated. Um, and they're both. Yeah, no, it's not the '60s one. They're both good in my opinion. I think the '90s one is underrated. No, it's the '90s one, not the '60s one. I'm not even know. Yeah. It's the '90s one. Let's see here. Let's see. It might be. Yeah, it is. It's a novel that George R. wrote. Martin wrote in the. Oh, actually, he wrote in the '70s. It's different. I mean, it's pretty different, but it sounds kind of vaguely similar to it. Yeah. There's a '90s hour limit. It's good. Check it out. It's worth watching. It's free on. It's on the Roku channel, I think, for free. I don't watch a lot of TV after Star Trek. TV got violent, sexual, and bad language. Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. But um, '90s Outer Limits was yeah. I mean, it depends. It depends. Some episodes weren't too bad. Like the Sand Kings one, I don't remember having much in it, but like yeah, some of them get kind of violent and stuff. But again, any thoughts on doing the original Thrawn trilogy? Maybe, but there's yeah, people have already done it. If you're talking audiobooks on YouTube, I'm pretty sure they're already all up on YouTube. But maybe at some point when I've done everything else, maybe I'll do my own versions. Also, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You too. Same to you, Tony. They released audiobooks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're out there. Like there's tons of them. There's like I'm sure there's like 10 different versions of it. I think somebody joked. I was on somewhere and somebody joked about it. There's like 10 different versions of it. So I would just be another version of it. I'm not. I'm trying to do stuff that hasn't been done before. Stuff that there's no audiobook for it, or at least an unabridged one. Yeah, Mark Thompson. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I think I'm sure there's a non-sound effect version and a sound effect version, and I'm sure there's like, I guarantee you there's at least like 4 or 5 different versions of it, at least. You can't find any on YouTube, really? I could have sworn, unless they got taken down recently, that there were audiobooks for those. Here, let me look real quick. I'm not saying I don't, let's see real quick. Heir to the Empire audiobook. Um, yeah, I mean, there's people that have done it. They've chopped it up into pieces, like they chopped it up into like chapters, but yeah, I'm seeing two right here. So, um, yeah, it's already been done. Tony. If you look, I mean, I don't know, it might be a region. Again, I'm in the US, so I don't know if you're in a different country or something. It might be region restricted or something. But I'm seeing there's two different they're fan productions. Like they're not official productions, but Fate of the Jedi was a good series of tie up loose ends from Bantam. Yeah, I wasn't big on Fate of the Jedi. I wasn't big on it. I wasn't wild about it, which I know is like I've got some odd opinions on. I don't know if you've been on here before, SJH photo, but I have some weird opinions because I was not wild about Fate of the Jedi. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't wild about how the EU ended personally. Say, what do you think about Callistia's fate? I was okay with it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't super wild about it. It was cool. Like, it was cool. They had her. I know she was like, that whole series was just a blur for me. I don't remember much about it. I know she was like, didn't she get possessed by Abeloth or something? She was possessed by like a big like evil force or whatever. It wasn't really her, right? It was like inhabiting her body or something. I liked Callistia. Actually, I liked her. I kind of wish I wish they'd done more with her instead of just making her, whatever, get possessed by some evil force ghost thing. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's there. Like I said, look, they're fan productions, but just look, there, the Empire's there. And I think the other ones. Yeah, thoughts on Fate of the Jedi. I just thought it was okay. I didn't really think it was that great. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad. Just okay. I wasn't wild about it. Planet Twilight was among my favorite books. Weird opinions. Oh man, yeah, you definitely you're even worse. You're even more worse than you're worse than me. Man, Planet Twilight, really? Like I could see Children of the Jedi, but oh man, Planet of Twilight, I don't that's one of the few Star Wars books I've never finished. I can't get through it. Crystal Star, yeah, I agree with you on Crystal Star. I think Crystal Star is underrated, but I couldn't Planet of Twilight, nope. Sorry. Couldn't get through it. Couldn't get through it. I'm from Marathon, Ontario. I'm assuming you mean Ontario. Yeah, Canada, yeah. SJH. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, I'm weird with like Kevin J. Anderson because most people do not like Kevin J. Anderson. Most even EU people are like, oh, he's terrible. Like he's stupid. Like I don't know what's so stupid about him. He's great at world building. He's great at laying. Is he the best at writing characters? Probably not, but he's great at world building and like and setting foundational stuff. And referencing like tying bring he was the first guy, and again, no, barely anybody ever brings this up, but he was the first guy that he brought in the comic books. Like the comic books were going to be their own separate thing originally. A lot of people don't know this, but the Dark Horse comics were not going to be part of the book canon. The book and the comic book canon were going to be separate, and he went, nah, let's bring in the comic books. He brought in Dark Empire, he referenced Dark Empire, he referenced Tales of the Jedi, he brought all that in, and then he made it all one. It's all one canon. Made it all one canon. So he's underrated. Planet of Twilight was macabre in a good way. Intelligent insect rocks were right up my alley. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I need to give it. I'll give it another shot. I need to give it another chance. Will you do Jedi Apprentice audiobooks? Somebody already did those. Those already exist, but and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek because you guys are here on my stream. Um, but I will be doing something related to it, but not. I'm going to say. I'll just say this: a Jedi will go on a quest. That's all I'm gonna say. A Jedi will go on a quest. But no, someone has done Jedi Apprentice already, so I'm not doing it, but I'm doing something else. And if you're listening to me very carefully, you will know you know what I meant when I said that. I did know that about Anderson in the comics. It was a good idea. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, you probably know, but like I actually I didn't know that till like a year ago. I had no idea. Like that it was gonna totally be its own separate thing. Like I just assumed from the get go, like it was all gonna be together. It was all gonna be, one continuity from the get go. But nope, it was gonna be its own separate thing. Until Kevin was like, yeah, we're gonna bring it in. I like Dark Empire. The artwork was weird. Yeah, it has a certain charm to it. I like Dark Empire. I really like Dark Empire. Actually, that's another thing I'm weird about. Most people do not like Dark Empire, or they're wishy washy on it. I love it. I thought Dark Empire was fantastic. I also have the audio plays from Dark Horse. Yeah, they did audiobooks, for 'em, which are pretty good. How about all the work Kevin J. Anderson did on Tales from book series? Those are great. Oh yeah, he's great. Like all of his stuff. I mean, again, I do not get the hate with him at all. Like he has, and I've said this before on here, but he only has one dud. The only thing that's kind of sort of a dud is the what is it, Leviathan. That's it. Like that's his only dud. Like every other book he wrote, story he wrote was great. That's the only one that felt kind of phoned in. Like there was, I could just tell it was just kind of phoned in. Hey, like I reread Darksaber. I reread Darksaber, right, just right there. I reread that this year. That book is great. Like that book still holds up. That book's amazing. So hang on, my phone's ringing. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, but what's up? Okay. Well, I can't help you with that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just the way things are going. Yeah, I get a lot of that. Yeah, well, they're gonna be out. It's off the school. They're told that. Yeah, I told you it's coming down here. It's coming down here. Yeah, um, all right, I guess we won't eat there, man. All right. Yeah, I told you that. So that's what I'm telling you. I hate to break it to you, but that's what I've been trying to tell you. Yeah, I hear you. I lost it. Um, You know, yeah. Well, just yeah. Again, join the club. Join the club. You trust me. I've already talked in for the past 4 years. Join the club. Yeah, please. I don't just. I want you to. I know you're upset, but I don't want to keep going on. Okay. All right. I'll see you. No, I don't. I'll just see you a bit. Okay, bye. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. Where was I? I know I kind of got behind here. Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. Billy D. Williams was Lando in the audio plays. I think I heard that. Yeah, he was in. He was also in Jedi Outcast. He played himself in Jedi Outcast, which is a great game. I don't know if you're into video games, but I recommend that if you have not played it. Oh, yep. Shh. They only made audiobooks. Yeah, yeah. We'll move on because that's supposed to be a little sneak peek. Would you consider doing the book Tarkin? Probably not because it's new canon, isn't it? It's Disney canon. Probably not. I don't plan on doing Disney canon. Sorry. Maybe down the road, like way down the road. Maybe. I shouldn't say I'm never gonna do it, but never say never, right? But maybe way down the road, Tony. I knew that because I was there reading them in the 90s. Yeah, okay. Speaking of the 90s, what do you think of the multimedia project for Shadow's Empire? It's awesome. I wish they had done more multimedia projects. They only did what, four? They did Shadows, not counting the movies, obviously. They did Shadows, they did Clone Wars. Um, they were gonna do one for Jedi Quest and they didn't. And I'm missing Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed. That's it. I think those are the only non-movie multimedia projects. This shows how innocent the Bantam era is. Darksaber blew our minds because they killed off General Main Dean. Once NJO started, they killed Chewbacca. So much more intense. Yeah, but Darksaber was a big deal though. Darksaber was a big deal at the time because I remember just looking back. I read a thing that said that um, that was a big deal because that was the first movie character, speaking movie character they killed off. So that was kind of a big deal at the time. But yeah, like then you NJO is like it's like a million times worse, like in terms of death, character deaths. Say what kind of car do you guys drive? I have a 99 97 Honda Civic. I bought it new. I make videos at every 25K miles. That's awesome. Um, I actually drive a well, I'm trying to think how to explain it. I actually drive a Jaguar. I inherited a Jaguar from my trying to get too personal here, but I'm just gonna say I inherited a Jaguar. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I drive a Jaguar. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Answers to questions. I just want to know what type of audiobooks you're doing in the future. Yeah, I plan on doing I plan on doing everything at some point. Anything that hasn't been done. Star Wars Jedi Academy comic were made too. Yeah, I did one for. I mean, I didn't. I'm probably gonna redo that. I did one for Leviathan, but I'm not really sure what you're talking about there. Unless you're talking, I'm assuming you're talking about Leviathan. Jedi Unleashed. I'm assuming you mean Force Unleashed. Yeah, Force Unleashed. You didn't like Force Unleashed? I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Jag, what year? Again, I don't want to get too personal. Um, 2000s. It's not real old. It's a 2000. It's in the 2000s. I'm just gonna say that. I'm mid 2000s. I guess I'll be more specific. It's mid 2000s. Jaguar. It's nice. It's nice. So anyway, I don't know. Kind of the rebellion being started by that guy and made it a chess game between Vader and Palpatine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can, yeah. But see, that's the thing. Was there an origin for the rebellion in the EU? I don't remember there really being like, I mean, there was an origin, but not like there wasn't like an origin like that. I mean, I thought they had a little bit of room to put that in there, didn't they? Like, I guess, like, yeah, I guess I can see it being a little contrived, like Starkiller being the inspiration for it, maybe. But like the rest of it, I was fine with. Is that what you're saying? Like, you don't like that, Starkiller was like the inspiration for it or whatever? Because that part I can see, but the rest of it, I didn't really have a problem with. Like, well, he wasn't really like, he wasn't really like. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, I know it was my Mothma. I thought was my Mothma not in Force Unleashed? I thought she was there. Wasn't she there? And again, I'm just going off the video game. I haven't read the novel yet. I'm assuming, are you going off the novel or the video game? Because they are different. I don't remember. Honestly, I shouldn't say anything because I don't remember it too well. She was there but had a much smaller role. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can see your argument then more. Yeah, I see. I don't remember it that well. I thought my Mothma was there and she was more prominent. But if you're saying, yeah, maybe, yeah, I could see them. If it seemed like they retconned her role a little bit there. Then yeah, I could see that. I'm going off the now. Yeah, that's pretty typical. Most EU people only don't play the games. Okay, yeah, so they are different. Like I said, the game is different. And I think the game actually is more canon than the book. From what I remember, the video game, I'm pretty sure the video games are a higher canon level than the books. So technically the book is less canon than the game. So whatever happened in the game is canon, like to the EU, at least to the old canon. Yeah, I'm 48. My last game system was the Atari 2600, yeah, and Commodore 64. Yeah, no, that's fine. I get it. No, I totally understand that. I'm It's different. No, I understand, like, older generations, that's like my dad. Like, my dad pretty much stopped playing video games when, um, I don't know, like, I think he said Wolfenstein 3D, like, it was too much, like, he's like, it was too much going on, and even I'll admit, the older I'm getting, I don't play video games nearly as much as I used to. I still do, but it's like, I've slowed down considerably. I just don't have the time and, to sit and play for hours on end anymore, so I totally get that. But, I think you can watch all the cutscenes on YouTube. Like, I'm sure somebody's made a movie of, like, all the cutscenes or whatever, so maybe you might wanna watch that. Um, so just letting you know, technically, I think the game is more canon than the book. You like Star Trek? Yes, I do. I'm watching, I'm almost done with all the Star Treks. I've gotta finish Enterprise, and then I gotta finish Deep Space Nine, and then I'm done. I've watched every single classic Trek show. The only books I read are Shatnerverse. Yeah, I've heard, it's funny, I've heard wildly different things about those. Like, I've heard, like, some people think they're amazing, like, they're great. It's a love it or hate thing. Like, people either love them, love the Shatnerverse, or they absolutely hate the Shatnerverse. I'm tempted to pick one up. I had one somewhere. The Return. I think I had The Return or whatever, The Return of Kirk, whatever, which is like it was supposed to be like the retcon. It like retconned where he dies in Generations or whatever. I think I should have read it. I don't know what happened to it. I think I got lost in a move or something. I wish I would have kept it. What's your opinion on the Shatnerverse? Okay, you saw the Force Unleashed cutscenes. Yeah, okay, so you've seen it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I am. I'm not gonna bother with the new Trek. I just want to watch the old ones, and then I'm gonna move on to something else. Yeah, William Shatner's a character. Yeah, his books are a trip. His ego makes Kirk amazing. Yeah, exactly. But that said, I do like the books. Yeah, I'll give 'em. I've been wanting to give those a shot. Like if I run across one of the thrift store or something, I'll definitely pick it up. I used to see. You know what's funny? You know this is interesting. This is and again anyway. I don't run across Star Wars and Star Trek books nearly as much as I used to. People snatch them up. Like I've noticed when because I go to thrift stores and regularly and resale shops regularly, and like because I leave the ones if I already have them, and I'll notice like I'll see them, and then the next time I go they're gone. Like they're always they people snatch them up. Star Wars definitely, but even Star Trek. Like I've noticed Star Trek books do not. I used to see tons of them, and now I do not see them nearly as much. I think people snatch them up. People are collecting them now. I mean, I collected them, so I mean, I'm right there with them. I was I just like I was just kind of ahead of the curve though on collecting all that stuff because I had already collected at least Star Wars. Um, most of this is from thrift stores, by the way. Just heads up for anybody watching this now or later. Like 90% of this is from thrift stores from like 10 years ago. So 10, 15. I mean, some of it's my own personal stuff. Some of it's stuff I had to rebuy that, I lost or whatever. But a lot of that's from thrift stores and antique malls and, whatever else. But yeah, sure. I'll definitely check them out. Yeah. I've heard they're like crazy. Like they're like just wild. Like it's just Kirk. Like, yeah. See that you're seeing Kirk finding War for the Battle Act. I'm going to see that alone. That makes me want to read it. Just hearing that. Like it's just crazy, crazy, goofy stuff like that. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to read those. Speaking of collecting, do you collect comic books? I have YouTube videos in some of my collections. Yes. Not so much anymore, but yeah, I do still occasionally. It definitely was something that piques my interest. I've kind of been wanting to get into um into Star Trek, more Star Trek collecting. I'm pretty much done Star Wars collecting because I pretty much got the whole EU, right here behind me. So I'm gonna probably start collecting Star Trek. I've kind of been doing it a little bit on and off over the past couple of years, but I'm gonna probably start collecting Star Trek comics and books and things. I might do that. Yeah, Action Comics, yeah. Oh, I love Superman. Yeah, Superman's great. I still am. I mean, I still like superheroes. I got a little bit of superhero burnout though, just like because of all the movies and the TV shows and stuff, that they've been cranking out for the past like 15, 20 years here. So I have a little bit of superhero fatigue, but other than that, like I still like it. It's just a little bit of burnout. From the 50s to the 80s, a Stop when Crisis reboot happened. Okay, cool. Yeah. What other comics do you have? Tons. I used to collect. I was more of a Batman guy. I collected a lot of Batman stuff. Batman, Robin, like Nightwing, um, Batgirl, like all that stuff. I was big into the Bat family, Batman and the Bat family. But I've got tons. Like I've got everything from like Batman to like Sonic the Hedgehog to Superman and Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Like I've got a little bit of everything. I used to collect comics pretty heavily, and then you know I started running out of time and money, so I also collected Transformer comics. Okay, cool. Yeah, my brother-in-laws are really into Transformers. I was never big into Transformers. I like Beast Wars a little bit. That was the '90s because I'm a '90s kid. Um, I like Beast Wars a little bit, which is I know a spin-off of it. Um, I never got super heavily into, like, Transformer stuff. Even I have nothing against it, I just never got into it a lot. In Canada, we would get US and UK comics. Yeah, I've heard that. That's kinda cool. That's cool that, like, you guys kinda got to dabble in everything, like, I kinda wish we had that here in the US. That would've been cool to get UK stuff, like comics and games and stuff, or whatever, just stuff in general from the UK. I have the entire US and most of the UK series. Yeah, Transformers, I'm assuming. Okay. Post-crisis or pre-crisis Batman. I like both. I probably if you're I'm probably more I probably met blah, I probably read more post-crisis because again, I grew up in the '90s, and that was, post-crisis. So, most Batman stuff I've read is I'm sure is post-crisis. I'm hugely into Transformers, especially '84 to '86, yeah. Yeah, you'd get along with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is huge into Transformers. He loves Transformers. UK Transformers comics are very different from the US. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog was like that. There was a I'm sure sure you've heard of Sonic the Hedgehog, but there was a Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. Um, the US one was done by Archie, and the UK one was done by Fleetwood, I think, or something. And they were, like, totally different. Like, the Archie one, he's, like, very friendly and, like, he helps people and he's, like, really nice, and then the UK one, he's, like, a complete jerk, and he literally, like I mean, he'll flat out insult people directly to their face and, like, Doctor Robotnik, he'll just, like, flat out, like, he'll just, like, punch him in the face and, like, insult him and stuff. He's, like, a complete jerk for some reason in the UK one. And, like, the US one, he gets a little like, he'll get mouthy, but he's not, like it's always kinda, like, tongue in cheek and, like but, like, the UK one, he'll just flat out, insult people. Like, even, like, the other his allies and stuff, like, he'll just, like, flat out be a complete jerk to 'em, and it's kinda hilarious. The UK comics are cerebral, and the US is Megatron using his Mega Cannon. Yeah, that sounds about right. UK comics are weekly, and US are monthly. Huh. One thing I like about UK comics is that you wrote to a character, not the editor. I wrote a lot, but they didn't publish them because they took too long to arrive. Huh. Yeah, I miss that. I miss being able to write to, like I think they still sorta do that, don't they? Do people even do that? Maybe they don't do that anymore. I have no idea. Do they still do that? Like, what are the letters to the editor? I'd imagine they still do that. At least I I don't know. I would imagine. I don't know. Last time I opened a comic book, I don't remember there being, like, a letter to the editor in the back of it. I don't even know if they bother even doing that anymore. I don't know. Hang on a second. And anybody else? Not that I have any issue talking with you, SJH photo, but if anybody else has any questions, I'm probably gonna wrap this up soon before it gets real late. I don't know if they do that. My comics are all pretty old. Yeah. I'm sure it's like emailed to the editor, but yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. Maybe I'll grab a comic, like a newer. I've got a couple newer comics. Maybe I'll grab them real quick and see. But I don't remember the last time I read a comic book. Like I don't know, probably like a few months ago. I don't remember there being a letter to the editor or like an email to the editor in the back of it. They just have a little thing in the back, like it'll have like a little thing like, "Hey, this is what we're working on," and "See you next time, guys." That's it. They usually don't. I don't think they bother doing that anymore. I really doubt it. Cause yeah, I was flipping through some of my Sonic comics, and it was kinda cool, like, they even show, like, things people sent in, like, "Hey, this is my drawing of Sonic the Hedgehog, I hope you like it." Like, it was cool, like, they did that kinda stuff. It was nice. So, hang on a second. Yeah, they're up to like crazy numbers now. Batman's what, like 900, 800 or something, 900, or Detective Comics, whatever. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. You probably have way more Action Comics than me. The Star Trek episode Balance of Terror is on TV in Minnesota right now. One of the all-time great episodes. Oh yeah, yeah. That's TOS, right? I'm assuming you're talking about TOS. I don't know the episode names as well. I just kind of, I know what they are, but I don't memorize the episode names. Well, let me tell you, in the UK, you could request a pen pal by writing the UK Transformers comic, and they would publish your name, age, and address for the kids to write to you. Oh no, God, no, yeah, no way they would do that now. No, no way. I love that episode. A submarine show. Mark Leonard, pre Sarek, yeah, yeah. The Sarek episode was great. That was a really good episode. I like that one. Enemy Below. Yeah, Yeoman Rand. I'm kind of behind here. What do you think about them updating the effects of the old Star Trek show? I think it's much more tastefully done than the Star Wars special editions. Oh yeah, they did it way. I'm sure they paid attention. Like they definitely were more careful than George was. Who's your Star Trek crush? I'm assuming you mean like favorite Star Trek chick. Um, 7 to 9 probably. If I had to give a gut response, always thought Kess on Voyager was cute. Yeah, I like Kess too. Kess is underrated. She got a bad rap, I think. You found Kess much prettier than 7 to 9. Yeah, I can see that. She's more like, yeah, she's more kind of reserved, but I like them both. They're both good looking and nice people. They seem like nice people. Yeah, the Star Trek like special effects were done way better. Totally agree. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. They aren't jarring. Yeah, yeah, they're not nearly as jarring. Yeah, they did it better. I mean, part of it too, the technology was better. That I'm sure that helped. Because that was done in the 2010 or the late 2000s, like 2010s, right? Somewhere around there. So yeah, it was like way, they had more, the tech was better. I think George probably jumped the gun. He didn't wait till the technology was there quite yet. Oh yeah, to Paul, right? Yeah, that's the one I'm watching right now. Actually, I'm on the last season of that. It's not the technology. George just threw things at us. Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think, like I said, that they had a little bit more technology, which I'm sure helped a little bit. But yeah, again, it's the lighter hand, probably more. Yeah, you're probably right. That'll yeah, but oh yeah, yeah, that was way better. There's the special editions. I still think the special editions are a little overrated. Like they're not that bad. Like they're not really. It's not the job. The only really one that really bothered me a lot was the Jabba scene. I don't know what he was thinking with that, because that's really jarring. That does not fit at all. Yeah, she was too on the nose. Scenes with the decon chamber. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't know. Yeah, the song and dance. Yeah, that's up there too. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a little jarring, but like the song isn't really any worse. I don't know. It's just the the one that was in it originally wasn't really much. It was kind of silly too. They're both kind of silly. The original song was written by John Williams' son. Huh. He's the leader of the band. He's the leader of the band Toto. Huh. Did not know that. Huh. Tales of the Bounty Hunter. Didn't somebody do it? I think somebody did it already. Pretty sure somebody did that already. I'll check real quick here. Um, no, maybe somebody didn't do that. All right, well, I can do that, I guess. People have done chunks of it. They've done like pieces of it, but I don't. Nobody's done the whole thing. So yeah, I guess I could do that. Evil Vendor Space Battle. Were the effects that different in the special edition for that? It was amazing for 1983. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember them have. They didn't have the change. I mean, it was already looked great. Yeah, the space battles in Return look hold up. They still hold up. They're still incredible. Is the Bounty Hunters. I liked it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't think they changed much for the special editions. Did they change much? I thought they pretty much like it would already look great, so I don't know why they would change it. I don't know. I don't want rewatch the movies much, guys. I'm not. I'm. I used to when I was a kid. I rewatched the hell out of them, but like I'd rather read a book. Like I'd rather read a Star Wars book or something because I watched the hell out of those movies. I wore out my tapes from those. So no, that's what I'm saying. They didn't. I figured they didn't because they didn't. You didn't need to update anything. Cloud Miners. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember that episode. Probably why it's forgettable. I don't remember it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. They still hold up. So. Oh yeah. The cloud. Yeah, the people in the clouds. Like they live in the clouds. I do kind of vaguely remember that one. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't remember. Yeah, that is kind of. It was forgettable except for like it was weird. Yeah, I do kind of vaguely remember that one now. Was that like precursor of the Cloud City, I guess, like in Star Wars or something? It's like Cloud City, but boring. I do remember it was kind of boring. Yeah, it was not a very good episode. But um, probably gonna wrap it up here before it gets real late. If you guys have any last quick little questions you want to ask, go ahead and shoot. Because I think I want to be able to do some things before it gets real late. So I think it's just SJ, OH Photo, and Tony Washland. So, guys, if you guys can give your last little things here, and then I think I'm gonna sign off for the night here. Yeah, Cloud City. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Cloud City a little bit, like kind of. I'm assuming George watched Star Trek growing up because there's some things I caught some things like when I was watching TOS. I'd never seen TOS all the way through. Um, and I'm just gonna say this real quick, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. But um, like what was it? Photon. I know in Star Trek it's photon torpedoes, right? And in Star Wars it's proton torpedoes. There's that. There's a bunch of little like things here and there, like where I'm like, I think George watched this. So there's some things, and it's not. I know that's the like the obvious. The proton torpedoes and photon torpedoes is the obvious one, but I'm trying to remember. There's some other things that I caught. I should have wrote it down, But there were some very, like, he, like, they just changed it a little bit, and it was very similar to Star Trek, but think about that for next time, guys. What are some things that you think Star Wars took from Star Trek? And that'll be our discussion for next time. Yeah, thanks for the discussion. Yeah, no problem. Hadn't done this in a while. Just wanted to jump on here. Thanks for all the hard work. Of course, Tony. I do it for you guys. I enjoy it. Yeah, proton torpedoes. Yeah. Proton torpedoes is Star Wars and photon torpedoes is Star Trek. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of just do it sporadically. Um, I I would say next week, probably sometime, probably around this time next week if I'm gonna do it. I try to I was doing it constantly for a while and it kind of just I started feeling like a job, so I try to do it a little bit more sporadically, but it'll be on a weekend. Like when I do it, it'll be probably like a Saturday, like Friday or a Saturday, because that's when most people have free time. So just on the weekends, just look out on the weekends. SJH photo. Yeah, no, I know. You must be you're probably a new subscriber. I've been doing this for a while, so I've been doing the streams for about 6 months, 7 months, somewhere around there. So yeah, just look on the weekends. Just look for look on the weekends. Yeah, I'm usually busy. I'm usually it depends. Like I'm self-employed, so and I mean I'm assuming you are too, but or I don't know. I can't remember what you said, but um anyway, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad, Tony. I enjoy him too. I'll try to do them a little bit more frequently. So I'll try to. I know I haven't been doing them as much lately. It's just this is a busy time of year for me, so I just haven't had as much time. So yeah, volleyball. That sounds like fun. So yeah, I guess I will leave it at that, and I will be back again. Don't worry, we will do this again sometime soon. But until then, may the force be with you always.